So, it's a well-known fact that 71% of the world is covered by the beautiful sea. And actually 90% of Australians live within 30 minutes of the coast, so it's likely that a lot of us here tonight have some deep connection to the ocean. Below the surface, you'll find a trench that's deeper than Mount Everest is tall. This is the Greenland shark that lives up to 500 years old, the oldest animal on planet Earth. And my absolute favourite, which is the whale that sequesters a huge amount of carbon in its body. The ocean breathes for us, with roughly half of oxygen produced globally coming from photosynthesizing marine organisms. And this was all stuff that I had no idea about before starting the Wattle Fellowship. In fact, 3 billion people get fed by the ocean and its resources worldwide. Our ocean is the greatest carbon sink, greater than all the rainforests combined. And it seems mind-boggling to me that a lot of us will think of a nice day at the beach rather than these massive impacts our ocean has on the future of our climate. So a little bit about me. I grew up absolutely loving swimming in the water, playing in the waves. I cared about the natural world. And coming into high school with education focusing much more on climate, which is fantastic, I felt myself going from being curious and passionate about sustainability to actually feeling kind of numbed and disempowered. And the reason for this was that we got told facts such as this, which seems shocking, because what can I do? Back then I was 12, what can I do about overfishing or ocean acidification? It seems a little bit too big for a young person to deal with. So I kind of turned away from sustainability before starting the Wattle Fellowship. And it taught me that education does not necessarily lead to empowerment if you don't teach young people the skills that they need to take that action. So, coming into the Wattle Fellowship, I was faced with a little bit of a dilemma. As Lynn said, I'm studying to become an engineer to take part in the green transition, but my true passion is with the ocean. I'm not a marine scientist, so what can I do to solve some of these massive problems? I wasn't sure, but I decided to dive in. I literally dived in, went to all sorts of conferences with different fellows, read all the literature, literally dived in and went on a free diving course with a different fellow, blockaded a coal port, read the literature, but I was still no closer to answering that question that I had when I was in high school. How could me as a young person, or any person really, take meaningful action for our ocean? I still wasn't sure, so I asked Google, and what Google said to me is that the most common answer to this question is go and do a beach cleanup, which I wasn't really satisfied with because it seems like a band-aid fix, not really targeting some of those big problems. So with the intention of combining awe-inspiring education and skill building to culminate in action, I set out to create a program and see what this could look like in real life. How can we bring that awe-inspiring to young people? So this turned out into this program that I developed, and basically what it was 16 high school students from across 5 different schools around the Bay Area, and we worked with a range of organisations, which I want to say a huge thank you to, that came in, facilitated workshops. But the bottom line was that we were focusing on the solutions, the things that people are doing right now in the ocean space. And I was very lucky because I learned a lot throughout the way as well. So if we looked at everything from sea urchin barrens to salt marshes and invasive species, and it was absolutely wonderful seeing these young people engage with these problems and creating their own solutions that they're actually going to pitch to councils quite soon. The pinnacle of this program, I guess, was actually going out onto the bay and being able to take these young people swimming with the seals and the dolphins. And I guess the reason for doing this was I don't think anything beats a life-changing memory that you can always think back to when you're fighting for the ocean, or you hear some of those tragic stats and you can be like, no, I know that our ocean can be biodiverse and can be beautiful again. So that's kind of what I wanted to leave them with. And I want to say a huge thank you to all the Wattle Fellows and the people and the mentors that allowed me to make this program happen. I learned a lot throughout the whole program. So you may wonder, what's next? I have the final showcase for the Young Ocean Innovators next Tuesday, just over the road. So if you're interested in learning more about the ocean or hearing some of these organisations speak, you're welcome to scan the QR code and come along. It's free. And in terms of the program, I hope that I can transition this pilot program and make it into an ongoing program that many, many more young people can learn how to take action for our ocean. Thank you so much.